Good night, everyone, and welcome back to Nocturnal Corner with Bat. Today, I'm going to be another sitting in my car update. Just because this is the best way I can do it, because I can't really do it on PlayStation. Thanks, PlayStation. So, basically, we're going to be looking at these massive balls and the weird-looking side-mounted weapon that right underneath that Aurora. So, I already got some predictions in mind, and I already know what time that it possibly might be coming out and whatnot. And I'm going to be sharing all that with you now. So, I did some digging. It didn't really take me very long. You won't find anything on their Twitter. You won't find anything on their forum that I know of. But I did see a small caption on their Facebook that I saw. And I might have missed this on their forum. Feel free to correct me if not. But basically, the small caption in the Facebook post was basically that this build is this mysterious build. Sorry, let me get that right for you, Gaijin. That this mysterious build is possibly going to be coming out in a mini event that is going to be associated with another Steel Champion event. Because, you know, everybody loves the wannabe Rocket League. So, now that that's said, I'm going to be doing some predictions for this build. If anything, it looks like we're getting more Dawn's Children stuff. I guess that's their favorite faction. I really would like to see more Steppenwolf, personally. But it is what it is. So, let's see what we got here. So, we got the side-mounted weapon right here that most people are probably predicting is going to be a CK for an existing weapon. However, if it's any weapon that's going to get it, it's probably going to be either, judging by the length of it and the size of it and how it looks, it's either going to be a CK for a plasma emitter or the yokai. Do I think it's going to be either one of those? Not really, no. That barrel looks too small to shoot out a rocket unless they completely change the projectile, and it doesn't really look like a plasma emitter, and the Helios kind of already has a skin that I think kind of looks better. And judging by the little pieces that you see right here and how you got this piece sticking out like these little forks, it definitely doesn't look like it's going to be, you know, the yokai or the plasma emitter, in my opinion. Especially since you see these little nodes on the sides. And originally I was thinking maybe those are just bolts or whatnot. But you can definitely see the wiring. So, if anything, if it was a CK, it would definitely be for the kaiju. However, judging by the size of the Aurora and the cabin right there, it might be too small. And then you can see like how the armor, like that piece of armor right here is definitely a small piece of armor if you actually see it in game, especially like these pipes. Yeah, so I don't think that's going to be a kaiju. I think this is going to be, like, if anything, it's going to be the Helios or a plasma emitter just because of the length and the size of it. But I'm pretty sure this is going to be a new type of weapon. And it's either going to be one of those weapons that's going to come out in the past, and it's going to be like the Athena, and it's going to be, hey, you remember when you had those parts from that last pass? Did you sell those? Ha! Great job, stupid. Because guess what you're going to need to build this shit? Yep. Don't sell anything that comes from a past that you can't build in a goddamn faction. Because apparently they love doing that shit. So, yeah, definitely hold off on your selling real quick, boys. Because this might be another case of the stupids. Anyways, my prediction, though, if this is going to be a legit weapon, judging by the little nodes on the side that look like a pulse accelerator like the kaiju, it's probably going to be an epic version of the kaiju. That's just kind of what it looks like. Even though the barrel here, with the size of it, looks like it might be something a little bit more high caliber than just, a steel rod being launched at high velocity. But we don't know that yet. If anything, and maybe this is my prediction just because I was thinking, what kind of energy weapon is in the game? And I thought to myself, if they added another energy weapon to the game, I think it would be something similar to the Reaper. However, they would be doing the Marine Corps route. So if you don't know what I mean, they're replacing the M240 Bravo with the M27. And the reason they're doing that is Basically, they want to stop doing suppression by volume and suppression by accuracy. The M27 is going to be a lot more accurate. It's going to be a higher, like a more, I think it's just another modified M4. I didn't really get to look at the M27. I didn't do my research on it. I have seen them. It just kind of looks like a marksman rifle. But I'm pretty sure that's what they would go with, like if they did another energy weapon. And the reason I'm saying this is because we really only have the one, and maybe you could classify autocannons as that. But the Reaper, it definitely feels like it's that high caliber minigun meant for suppression by volume, like I said for the Miller, to where you're going to be sitting, manning your ground, and you're going to be basically laying down the fire support behind your team, so that way the enemy has to, like, is forced to move, like, you know, so that way they're like trying to dodge it, trying to like either focus you, and they're just like kind of getting distracted, because you know when you're getting shot by the Reaper that you don't want to be sitting there and just letting the thing drill into you, because that's basically what the Reaper is. It's a drill. It's damage over time, kind of like a long distance flamethrower, but a little bit less damage, meant for distance. So my idea with this one is a focused beam, kind of similar to the Destructor, but instead of like that super high damage that the Destructor does, it's going to be a at a farther range, meant for taking, like, you know, damage through accuracy. So you're going to have to be a little bit more accurate than the Reaper, but is going to basically do the same effect as what the Reaper is meant for, to get them to move, get them to get out of there. Otherwise, they're going to keep taking shot after shot after shot, and you know eventually it's going to start really damaging you. That's my prediction, is a suppression by accuracy laser beam. So now we're going to get on to the next part, the big ass wheels. This is Lord Farquaad's build. I see he's compensating for something, and I think she kind of approves of it, and she looks pretty happy that she got 2 sets of balls. Not saying anything, but she definitely looks like she's happy to have like 2 sets of balls. Anyways, let's be honest. This is definitely a frontal version of the Omni wheels. They're going to be bigger. They're big ass steel balls, so they're probably got health up the ass. Probably going to be the most health on a wheel yet, besides, you know, tracks, because it's a big ass steel ball. If these things got no health, I don't know what the hell they thinking. Like, let's be honest. Let's be honest. It looks like it's going to be held by a steel cage or iron cage. I don't know what the hell kind of metal they use. It's probably going to be steel. But it looks like it's going to be held inside of that cage. It kind of looks Iberian a little bit. And I'm guessing these little nodes right here that are connected to wiring, my idea is that those are magnets. And what the magnets do is they're basically kind of going to be like the pulse accelerator. How it fires is it's going to have that negative attraction versus the positive attraction, and it's one side is going to be the negative to push, while the other side is going to be the pull, and that's going to rotate the wheel in whatever direction you want, because it's a big ass wheel, so it's going to be able to move in any direction. It's going to probably be the first multi-direction frontal wheel, and it's probably going to be magnet powered. It just makes sense. How else are you going to move a big ass wheel if you don't have like a fucking axle going into it? So now comes the perk of it. I have 2 predictions. The first prediction is going to be based on the Don's Children and the Steel Championship. Since the Don's Children are that experimental scientific faction, and Steel Championship is that Rocket League reject. Let's see, what does Rocket League do? Rocket League has cars that drive up the goddamn walls. Let's see, magnets. A magnetic force being pushed on the wheel, so that way you can wall ride. This would let you go up 90-degree angles and even wall ride on buildings, getting into strategic points. Maybe even dodging shots. So, if that's the case, and it is going to be with the Steel Championship event, this might be the wheel that they're trying to basically give you a Rocket League car, and it's going to be the one that's going to wall ride that you can get to their goal. And if you use this thing in PvP, it's probably going to be the one that can go straight up, where some dude's on a hill and you got to drive around. Nope, these wheels are going to hit that fucking thing and go, hey, bitch, how you doing up there? Maybe this is a build that you can climb a damn building if there was no fucking skybox. But that's my first prediction. My second prediction is based on the look of it. You see those that welding down the sides right there, and it has all those nodes. You know what that looks like? If you don't know what it looks like, maybe you haven't been doing much test damage. But if you got those test damage meters out there, not the one that has like the countdown on the sides, but the original one that I believe is from the scavengers. If you look around that ball, it has these little nodes around it, and it even has those big scars on it. And this ball can basically absorb damage. So my idea is that these are going to be damage absorbing balls, and they're going to start having that sparking effect. Because if you notice, when you start doing a lot more damage, they start going, and you start sparking all around. And I think that sparking effect is going to give you some type of positive to your build. Or, since, frontal wheels are usually a little different, like one of them gives you speed and the other one gives you damage to energy weapons, maybe this is a wheel that when it starts having that sparking effect, it'll actually have negative nerfs onto builds that are close by you. That maybe this is the wheel that'll do some type of spark effect that'll actually make them reload slower or slow down, and the effects are going to be based on how many wheels you have versus how many opposite wheels you have. That would kind of make sense to me, you know what I mean? So it's either going to be a wheel that is going to be doing something with revolving around damage, and it's going to either do a negative effect to the enemy or a positive effect to you. However, I don't think it's going to give you any damage just because we already got the claw wheel. So I don't really think it's going to give you damage reduction either, because the tracks already do that. This would probably be something that it's going to either remove negative effects from you, and it's going to either soak it up and heat up like how you see the ball when you shoot it with any type of thermal weapon, or it's going to do something like for your modules. That would make sense to me, like Hertz, how he has that ability, that 20% cooldown for all types of modules. Maybe it'll have a smaller type of thing, like 10% cooldown on your chameleon or your shields or whatever, while the ball is charged up. That would make sense. So absorbing damage would boost your modules, so that way you might have a better fighting chance. Or it's that when it starts sparking up, it's going to do a negative effect to their build. So that is my predictions with this update. All I can really confirm is that it's going to be in August. It's going to come in a mini event, and it's going to be around the same time during Steel Championships. And if that's the case, usually the updates are in the middle, usually around the early middle of the month, and probably on a Thursday. Anyways, I'm curious to know what you guys think. This is just my idea. I really want to know what you think, to be honest. I love discussing these things. I love making the predictions, and I want to see which one of us is right. So that's my idea. I don't think that's going to be a CK. I think it's going to be its own thing. I don't think that's going to be a CK because it's literally an Omni wheel for a frontal. So it's going to definitely be a new wheel. And if you enjoyed this little piece of commentary, maybe leave a like and subscribe so you can get some more from your boy. If not, well, I tried my best, guys. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you next time. Peace.